What is going on, guys? Winner Killz here, and welcome to a brand new featured archetype. We're going to be doing like two featured archetypes sort of back to back in separate videos, of course. But today we're going to be looking at the Megaliths. And I really wanted to take a look at that Senka archetype, which we're going to in the next featured archetype video, which will probably be uploaded either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I plan trying to get in a Mermail update or an in-depth guide to Mech Knights at some point in there. Just a little heads up of some future videos to come, so you got that to look forward to. But this Megalith archetype really caught my attention because it's a ritual archetype. Really love ritual archetypes, of course, Necroz being one of my all-time favorites, so I really wanted to take a look at it. And it's based off of like the 7 spirits of like Olympus or something like that. I don't know. That's what I've read on that org. But it looks really cool. The artwork is very promising. It's a ritual archetype. I gotta take a look at this first. Hope you guys understand. We'll be taking a look at the Senka archetype though, following this. Also, before we get started, a quick reminder to check out Imperium Duelist, and don't forget to use my TCG Player affiliate link if you're going to be buying anything off TCG Player. But let's go ahead and look at the first one here. Again, all ritual monsters here. One spell being a field spell, and then 2 traps which are continuous. So actually there's no ritual spell currently. So I'm kind of curious to see how you actually summon these things. First we have Megalith Phaleg. 2500 attack, 1200 defense, level 8 rock ritual effect. You can ritual summon this card with any Megalith card. With any Megalith card, okay. You can discard this card, ritual summon 1 Megalith ritual monster from your hand by attributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed its level. Okay. You can only use this effect of Megalith Phaleg once per turn. All monsters you control gain 300 attack and defense for each ritual monster in your graveyard. That is really cool. So this card in of itself acts like a ritual spell. The only cost is you have to discard it, and then you have to tribute monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed that level. Okay, that's a pretty big bonus right there. You'd be able to equal or exceed. Kind of reminds me of the Incantation Inception card, which allows you to tribute incantations, but you can only tribute incantations, and the level can equal or exceed, which is really nice for clearing those guys off your field. Then it says ritual summon, distributing any monsters from your hand or field, so it doesn't have to be Megalith monsters that you have to tribute here. Okay. And it says all rituals gain, all monsters you control gain 300 attack for each ritual in your graveyard. Okay, so that effect in itself is not the greatest. Then we have Megalith Eritron, level 8, 2000 attack, 3000 defense, rock, ritual effect. You can ritual summon this card with any Megalith card. During the main phase, quick effect, you can discard this card, ritual summon 1 Megalith ritual monster man by attributing monster from your hand or field whose total level equal or exceed its level. So this one specifically lists during the main phase quick effect. So it looks like you can ritual summon on your opponent's turn. This is already looking super cool just by that effect right there. Imagine if you had something like that for like Necroz of Trishula. That would, if it said ritual summon and 1 ritual monster, that would be insane. But it says 1 Megalith ritual monster by attributing monster from your hand field whose total levels equal or exceed. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card or cards you control, quick effect, you can place 1 ritual monster from your graveyard to the bottom of your deck. And if you do, negate the activation, and if you do that, destroy that card. Okay, so we have some quick effect negation and also resource recursion by putting things back into the deck, recycling also while negating here, and that artwork looks really cool. Yeah, it's very interesting archetype so far. Okay, but now we have Megalith Bethor. Level 8, 1500 attack, 2600 defense, rock, earth. So I'm assuming they're all going to be rocks. They all kind of look like statues or something coming to life. Especially this one right here. But you can ritual summon this card with any Megalith card. You can discard this card. Ritual summon 1 Megalith ritual monster from your hand by attributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal to exceed its level. This card is ritual summon. You can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of ritual monsters in your graveyard with different names. Destroy them. Okay, it does target. Okay, you can only use each effect of Megalith Bethor once per turn. So this guy lets you sort of quick effect ritual, but this does not have a quick effect. But it says if it's ritual summon, so I don't assume that doesn't need to be a quick effect. If it's ritual summon, whether it's on your turn or your opponent's turn, it will not matter. So some very interesting cards here. Then we have Megalith Ophiel. And you know, to point one thing out, like that's the one thing I think Necroz lacks, is its ability to, like, I mean, it interacts with your opponent, but in a very stun-based manner, right? So Unicorn is locking you out of the extra deck. It's not locking you out, but it's negating any extra deck effects. And that's really the only interaction you really have. I mean, you can stop the battle phase, you can negate targeting and destruction and boost by 1,000 attack, but there's nothing really you can actively do. It's not like you can use Gungnir during your opponent's turn to pop a card, or, I mean, Clauseless, I guess, is an example. Okay, so this is turning out not to be the best example. But you really only have a card like Clauseless. That's like one of the only cards that actively, you know, interacts, other than like passively interacting like Unicorn does. So it's nice to see that with this guy, and this is probably going to be one of the better ones because it lets you ritual summon during your opponent's turn, because that quick effect discard, which is cost, by the way, so that's important to take note. So you do discard, so it can be susceptible to Call by the Grave, which is nice. It has some sort of counter in the form of a pretty common, you know, use counter nowadays. So it hasn't like power creeped Called by the Grave, which is nice to see. But yeah, it's just nice to see that we actually have a way to, you know, play on our opponent's turn and sort of, you know, stop their plays that's happening, as opposed to just leaving one thing on the field, hoping it's enough to stun them, and then, you know, not relying on things to protect it, but we can actively sort of play into their field as they play out their turn. I think that's pretty cool. So that one is very nice. It's a multi-destruction when it hits the board, and it can hit the board during your opponent's turn. Yeah, keep that in mind. Like, any of these monsters can hit the board during your opponent's turn. And then we have probably looks like the coolest looking one, and I noticed they're all standing on this like hexagonal thing here, coming out of it in some way, shape, or form, which is pretty interesting. You can ritual summon this card with any Megalith card. If this card is ritual summoned, you can add one Megalith monster from your deck to your hand except itself. During your main phase, you can ritual summon one ritual monster from your hand by attributing monsters from your hand or field, including this card you control, whose total levels equal or exceed its level. You can only use this effect of Megalith Ophiel once per turn. During your main phase, you can ritual summon one ritual monster from your hand. So this thing could be on the field and allow you to just ritual summon. That's really, really cool. And if it's ritual summon, you get to add any Megalith monster, which searches out a whole lot of good monsters here, especially Aeritron, which will allow you to set up plays during your opponent's turn. This doesn't have the discard effect, but it does have the effect where you can ritual summon while it's on the board. This one, I don't know if it would be played the most. I feel like it might be played simply because it has the ability to search, and when comboed with the other ones that allow you to ritual summon just via discard, I feel like this one probably will be played, but the fact that it's missing out on that discard effect is kind of suboptimal, I guess. But, you know, I guess having 3 discarders that allow you to ritual is nice. You can ritual summon this card with any Megalith card here. This is Haggith. 1300 attacks, 2600 defense. Now, wait a second. Is this... Hold on. Spirit Sculptor. 16... Oh, this is 1621. Okay, I was trying to see if there's anything that we can search here off of Spirit Sculptor. So, okay, so the way this is worded, it says you contribute one monster, add one monster from your deck to your hand whose combined original attack and defense equals the combined original attack and defense of the contributed monster. So, here we get to search something that has 3,700 combined attack and defense. I'm looking at this right here, the Och, or Ak, whatever you want to call it, is 3,700 attack and defense combined. This one is not. This one is not. This one is not. That one is not. And this one is not. So, actually, no, this one is 37. This one is searchable off of Spirit Sculptor. So we have 2 searchable Spirit Sculptor targets in this deck, and it looks like so far a normal summon does not matter whatsoever in this deck. I assume Manju might be played in here, but this is a pretty cool card as well. Tribute to add. Doesn't seem too entirely bad. I mean, it doesn't seem much better than Manju in this case, but still very interesting that this card has 2 targets in here that it can search, at least if I'm reading it correctly. But we have Haggith here. Let's get back to this one. Ritual summon this card with any Megalith card. If this card is ritual summon, you can add one Megalith spell trap from your deck to your hand. During your main phase, you can ritual summon one ritual monster from your hand by triggering monsters from your hand or field, including this card you control, whose total levels equal or exceed its level. So this one is much like Ophiel. It lets you ritual summon while it's on field, and it contributes itself. So on field, acting like a ritual spell, allowing itself to be attributed as material, which is very cool. Okay, and we have Megalith Och, or Ak. 1000 attack, 2700 defense, searchable off Spirit Sculptor. You can ritual summon this card with any Megalith card. If this card is ritual summon, you can draw 1 card. Okay. Then discard 1 card. During the main phase quick effect, you can ritual summon 1 ritual monster from your hand by triggering monsters from your hand or field, including this card you control, whose total levels equal or exceed its level. You can only use this effect of Megalith Watch once per turn. So these 3 here, letting you ritual, they don't let you discard to ritual. They let you ritual while they're on the field, and they allow you to tribute monsters from your hand or field, including these cards. So this one lets you add a Megalith monster, this lets you add a Megalith spell or trap, and this one just lets you draw. So these ones all seem pretty decent. And these ones are the discarders that allow you to ritual from your hand, essentially, which seems pretty cool, actually. So far, so good. Like, I really like this archetype as a whole, and the artwork is absolutely fantastic, I must say. We have 3 level 4s and 3 level 8s. Okay, interesting enough. Alright, so next we have Megalith Portal. This is the field spell for the deck. The first time each ritual summon monster would be destroyed by battle, each turn it is not destroyed. And that's each turn. Each turn. Every turn it gains an additional can't be destroyed by battle. That's really good. It's not just the turn it is ritual summoned, which is really nice. Yeah, because the first time each ritual summon monster you control will be destroyed by battle. Each turn it is not destroyed. The Megalith monster or monster is a special summon. You can target 1 ritual monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use the effect of Megalith Portal once per turn. So interesting enough here, it says if a Megalith or Megalith monster or monster is special summoned, this card, you can ritual summon this card with any Megalith card. You can discard this card, ritual summon 1 Megalith ritual monster from your hand by tributing monster from the field whose total levels equal or exceed. Okay, I'm just trying to see if there's a way to ritual summon multiple. Maybe we'll see that in the traps here. Megalith Promotion, you can target 1 level 4 or lower monster you control. This level becomes double its original level until the end of this turn. Even this card leaves the field, you can only use the effect of Megalith Promotion once per turn. So this is easy, you know, allowing you to sort of easily ritual without having to tribute as much stuff, because these things can be basically double their level, going up to 8, which is nice. So I mean, I don't know how good this card will be in practice, but in theory it seems pretty okay. Then we have Megalith Immersion, the last card in the set for Megalith, another continuous trap. You can target 1 Megalith monster in your graveyard as cost, special summon in defense position, but place it on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. You can only use this effect of Megalith Immersion once per turn. So this just reborns any Megalith monster, which is interesting because a lot of times we see ritual monsters sort of only being locked into being summoned via their ritual spells and no other ways, much like we see them bring back. You can't bring back like Unicorn or Gungnir with Monster Reborn or Soul Charge back in there, or Call the Haunted. You can't do that. But with the way these are worded, they do not have that condition. So you could technically discard this guy to ritual summon this thing per se, search the trap, and then you have the trap to reborn whatever you want, essentially, during your opponent's turn. But keep in mind, they will only get their effects if they are ritual summon, but it's still not bad because you're getting bodies on field. And this says if a Megalith monster is special summoned, period, target any ritual monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So this one doesn't say they have to be ritual summoned. This just says anytime it's a Megalith is special summoned, period. So that's pretty interesting. So this archetype overall looks extremely promising. I don't know what you guys think, but let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What your thoughts are on this archetype. I think it's extremely, extremely cool. And maybe it has potential to become the next best ritual deck. I don't know. We have the ability to get a negate on board during your opponent's turn, as well as a multi-destruction. We have the ability to recycle resources, search out monster spells, traps, and draw cards. A searchable Call of the Haunted that works in here because they can all be special summoned via without, you know, being ritual summoned. A level modifier. It just seems really good. It just seems, and like discard to ritual summon. That seems really broken. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll be coming at you guys with the Senka FA probably in a couple days. So look forward to that. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. As always, want to kill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one.